I want you to think about exchanging this email as if you're dating somebody. Like you meet them, you need to have some kind of conversation with them to get their phone number. And then after you get the phone number, you want the date to be really good, the first date, right? That is the opt-in that you're delivering to them. And then you want to nurture them, court them later to get them to go out with you again. And that's the follow-up email series. Hello, I'm Debbie Shadid, the host of the Life Coach Business Building Podcast. If you are ready to have more clients in your life coach business, then you're in the right spot. Each week, I'm going to teach you super simple strategies to grow your business without feeling overwhelmed and without spending money on paid ads. Now, if that sounds interesting, stick around and let's get started. Welcome to the Life Coach Business Building Podcast. Let's get started today, you guys. We're going to be talking about building your email list. I'm going to be talking to you about email opt-ins, why you want to use them, what you need to do to create a good one. We're going to be talking all about that. It really is essential, you guys, for you to have a really quality email opt-in so that you can be working on growing your list. I can tell you for sure, I do more sales from emails that I write than I do with anything else. So building your list is important. Today are going to be thinking about the pre-marketing that you do because you still have to sell somebody the opt-in. I know it sounds like it's free, they'll just take it, but you still have to tell somebody why they're going to give you an email address and then why they're going to consume, why they're going to watch, why they're going to read, why they're going to use their time to look at the opt-in. So that's one part of what we're going to talk about today. We're also going to talk about what is a good opt-in for you and for where you are in your business today. Money making marketing boils down to just a few choice words. So here we are talking about marketing again. The few words that you use need to compel somebody to give you their email address in exchange for something of value. So how are you going to do that? That's the question. You want to be able to get people to know you, to personally like you and trust you. Look, people buy coaching from you. You are what people are buying. Yes, they are buying a transformation, they're buying a result, but there's lots of coaches that they could buy similar things from. So they want to work with you because they know you and they like you and they trust you. So who is your person and what do they need to know about you? The opt-in you create is the avenue for them to learn about you through either an actual product that they opt into, like a video series or a checklist or a guide, or through the emails that will follow as you nurture them after you get their email address. You want to assume that people feel unsure about you. Honestly, that's the best approach because if you're thinking, I don't know, they're probably thinking, what do I know about Debbie? You will write an email then, or you'll create an opt-in that helps them know you, that helps them get a result. How do you get somebody to feel sure about you? You give them something of value. Why do people need to trust you? Look, you guys, coaching is scary. Coaching is a luxury. Investing in yourself is scary. We do it all the time, so we're used to it. But can you take yourself back to that first time that you made a discovery call, you scheduled with somebody? I can think of many, many times over the years when people got on discovery calls with me and they were nervous. Maybe you've forgotten that, but this is a big deal to be able to trade your information with somebody. Sharing a secret is scary too. That's what happens in coaching. That is why you want people to trust you. We do know what all of this is, but the world doesn't. All right, so how do we build trust? I'm going to ask you, what is something that you opted into yourself that created trust, that helped you get to know a coach, that actually got you to buy? That would be an amazing question to answer. What got you to buy coaching? When you opted in and you immediately got on somebody's schedule, for a discovery call, what was it? I know for me, I have clients that sometimes encounter me, and the very first encounter, they will get a discovery call and they will buy coaching. So can you remember what it was for you that caused you to do that? Go through your inbox and look for emails that you have, signed up for, because you opted into something. Go through your folders where you've downloaded all the things and look and see, honestly, out of all the things you saved and downloaded, because I know we're all guilty of doing that. Out of all those things, what did you actually read? And think about how that would apply to your niche. I am pretty sure it looked professional. And I think it probably, if it's something you liked, felt like authentic to you, like you would have an authentic connection with that person. I think authenticity sells. So you want to have some way for people to get to know the real you. Probably those were the email opt-ins that you liked the best too. So, what can you create? You could create something that can give somebody an instant transformation. Now, I know you're saying, how do I do that? You give them one bit of awareness that is about what you coach on. It's an aha moment. That's an instant transformation. You give them a glimpse into your expertise. If I share a workshop with you about how to price your offer, it'd be like, oh, wow. That is actually a workshop, by the way, that I do where people end up buying coaching from me. So what could you have that would be similar to that? What can you do that your clients will begin to see what you're capable of doing for them? I want you to think about exchanging this email as if you're dating somebody. Like you meet them, you need to have some kind of conversation with them to get their phone number. And then after you get the phone number, you want the date to be really good, the first date, right? That is the opt-in that you're delivering to them. And then you want to nurture them, court them later to get them to go out with you again. And that's the follow-up email series. So pick your opt-in and really think out of the box. I want you to consider something that probably you've never thought of. Your email opt-in could create you $1 million. You're like, what? But listen, you guys, it's true. Now, if you are just getting started, I know that we're going to just probably have you do a super simple opt-in because you just need to get it done. You need to have some place to tell people, hey, go to my website and sign up for my checklist, or go sign up for my guide, whatever it might be that applies to your niche. But if you are further along in your business, and if you're in the place where many of my clients are, we want to think about creating an email opt-in that is gold. I mean, that is really going to be what somebody wants, that you have worked on the marketing message so that it's super clear, very compelling. And you guys know that people are watching it, they're consuming it, they're using it, they're applying it. That kind of email opt-in will potentially create you more than $1 million, honestly. So there's two ways that happens. Number one is if your marketing in advance is really good and you get a lot of people to sign up for it, then you have that email address that you can give the freebie to, but you can also nurture. You can really love them up with the emails that follow. Or the opt-in, the thing that they get could be so good that they will decide to make a discovery call with you, or a consultation, or a business assessment, whatever it's called that you offer your people. Be thinking about that. What could you create? What would your person want? I know a coach that is just getting ready to revamp her email opt-in. She's a very, very successful coach, makes millions. And her email opt-in is a 3-part video series that she has been using for 3 years. So she's been using the exact same series for 3 years and she's made millions. Now, she's probably on the extreme end of huge success. But honestly, if you create something that's good, you can use it for a long time. You want to think of a clear title that really explains what it is you're going to give them. And of course, you want to make it pretty, and you can do that in Canva. We want to talk about the value and the time exchange, because again, you're asking people to give me your email address. So if they're going to use it, whatever it is you're giving, it needs to be of high value. You're trying to sell yourself through the email opt-in. That opt-in is the ticket to you. Have you guys been thinking about that? The value needs to be good enough that people say, wow, I've got to work with Debbie. You want to think about how much time it takes for them to utilize the email. I know people who have like a 6-week course and they said, hey, can we just make that our freebie? No, nobody wants to do a 6-week course for a freebie. They will do something like an hour or less. All right, so make sure you think about that. I want to just mention to you guys that if you were to run ads, social media ads on Facebook or Instagram, currently, as you're listening to this podcast, depending on what your niche is, you would be spending from $5 to $30 per email address. $30 is when you have, a much narrower niche. $5 is you have a much broader niche, but that is how much every single email address is. If your funnel, if the way to getting the freebie, through the Facebook ad, through the page where they land in and opt in, if that is effective, that's still what it costs you. So you want to be able to have something that is so good that your friends are willing to reshare it for you, that other people will reshare it for you, that everybody wants to click and take part of what it is you have. You want to fix one problem. This isn't to solve everything. This is to give somebody a glimpse of what you can do for them. So what is the one thing that your ideal client needs? What is one simple process you can share to get them success today? I will tell you that you can offer a second offer inside of your first offer. So I have a Canva workshop, and inside of my Canva workshop, which I'm sure many of you guys have opted into, I will leave the link for you. You get a second offer inside of that workshop. So it shows a second level of my expertise inside of the first opt-in. That's something you guys can do too. For some of you, that's going to be like, have a conversation with me. That might be the second free thing that they get is a, phone call with you, or it could be a video or another guide, something like that, a second thing to download. So how are you going to sell this opt-in? I know that they're not paying for it, but they're paying for it with their email address. You're going to create beautiful graphics. You guys know how I feel about graphics. They all need to be pretty. You're going to really nail your marketing message. Another key piece. When I work with coaches, let me tell you, in 24 years of being in business, the most significant message that needs to be the clearest is for coaches. Of all the businesses I've helped, coaches have got to get their message clearer than anybody. So make sure you have a marketing message that is compelling, that not just compelling to you, but that your average Joe who knows nothing about coaching will see that and be intrigued enough to give you an email address. You also want to think about creating maybe a sales page. A sales page is just another page on your website where you share information, again, about why you want to give me your email address. It's the place where they land and do that. You're going to be sharing this in your social media bio through Linktree, something like that. You also might have pop-ups on your website where they give you an email address. In the footer of your website, in the header of your website, there can be a little line across the top. I actually have mine in 3 places on my website. You also are going to be sharing it maybe through Pinterest, through TikTok, through LinkedIn. I know I have a lot of you guys that are coaching professionals, and so you're on LinkedIn. At the end of a blog post, at the end of a podcast, at the end of a workshop, your workshop could be the opt-in. You could go and share that on Facebook events. You could share it at a networking event. You could say, you could be at a speaking engagement and say, if you want the first chapter of my book, here's where you go to get that. So where could you share it? This is important when you are thinking about your $1 million opt-in. Then I want you to go and make a list of all the places where you could share it, right? Be super aware of where you see people marketing their opt-ins and just start making a list so that you can reshare yours in all those same places too. The last thing I want to share with you about this growing your email list and this opt-in is that the email series that follows, which we're not going to go into today, that email series that follows that nurtures people. Remember, I talked about courting them and then going on the first date, giving them their freebie, and the courting them, staying in connection with them, getting them to see more about you. That follow-up series is important. Now, if you do not have one of those, don't worry, just start sending them your regular emails. But that next step is the connection into, that's what they're opting into, is to receive emails from you. All right, so the last question I want to ask you is, what is your $1 million opt-in? Do I have you thinking about what it could be? So go to work and think about what your client needs. Think about how your client can get a transformation. Think about how your client would want to consume the information. Maybe it is a private podcast. Maybe it is a YouTube. Maybe it is an ebook. Maybe it's a single checklist. You guys decide what fits your niche, what they want, and how you're going to deliver it. All right, go build your email list and go create something that will make you $1 million in your coaching business. All right, you guys, I'll see you soon. Okay, ladies, that is it for today. Before we go, I want to invite you to head over to debbieshadid.com. I have this incredible Canva training specifically designed for life coaches, where I'm going to teach you how to use Canva to create beautiful graphics to market your life coaching business. All right, have an amazing week. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.